Good morning, guys. Welcome to another series of Money Talk. My name is Michael Mushelelo, and we'll be speaking about money. Money. That's what we'll be speaking about. Now, the last two topics, the first one I just briefly spoke about what people need to start doing and what people need to start realizing the importance of money in our lives and in today's society that we live in. Now, the reason why we have classes, you've got poor, you've got middle, and you've got rich people, is because of money. Now, our societies are made up of class. You've got the haves and the have-nots. Now, as a result of that classification, you will now either end up being recognized as a poor individual or as an individual with money. That's how people are distinguished. Now, even in our families, how we distinguish who is which uncle, which uncle to give more respect. The uncle who has the most money is the one who's well respected. If your father doesn't have money in your family, your father will not be accorded the same respect as the uncle who has money. These are the realities. In fact, things have gotten so out of hand that families do not do burials or they do not do weddings if that uncle who happens to be rich is not there. Decisions can't be made without this rich uncle. And these are the facts and these are the realities of the life that we live. So money plays an important role. Money decides which school you're going to send your children to. Money decides which row you are going to sit in the church. Because only people with money sit in the front row. This is how it works. And the people without money, they sit in the back row. And this is how life goes. So you need to start understanding. I didn't create this societal status that we live in. I didn't create it. I'm only here as well. I'm trying to be that rich uncle so that I can decide whose wedding I'm not going to attend and whose wedding I'm going to attend and whose funeral I'm not going to attend. When you're that rich uncle, you can decide. So we need to start understanding that money is a very important component of our lives. And because many of us do not understand how important money is, we find ourselves in situations where we do not have it, and when we do have it, we do not know how to use it. Now, there is nothing worse than having money and not knowing how to utilize that money. Now, today's topic is going to be a topic that I've touched on before. And it's basically a topic of inheritance. Now, I know a lot of young people who usually inherit money, but as a result of inheriting this money, 2 months, 3 months, this money is gone. Now, this is what I usually say. When these guys get their inheritance money, they buy vrpas. Then 2 months later, the money is vrkla. That's what happens. These are the realities. This is unfortunately how things go. Now, this is one thing that we need to start understanding. And I do not blame these people. Many of them get this inheritance money and they have got no knowledge on what to do with this money. Now, young folks, this is my advice to anyone who has inherited any sum of money. This is what you need to do. First things first. Understand that the money that you got, easy come, easy goes. It's as simple as that. Now, that money, because it came easy, it can go easily as well if you don't plan for it. Now, here is some of the things that you need to do. Now, understand this. There is a correlation between discipline and wealthy people. The reason why wealthy people are wealthy is because, first of all, they've got the means to make more money than they can actually spend. Now the problem with us, when we inherit the money, we just start spending, without realizing that if this spending is only consumption and not production, there will soon be nothing left for you to consume. Because let's assume you inherit 200,000. Now, of that 200,000, you then go and buy yourself a Golf, maybe a Golf 6 GTI. That's most probably going to cost you 150,000. Remember, this is a second-hand car. First of all, second-hand cars, they always have a problem. That's why the owner sold it, or the owner sold it to buy a new one. Now, you're going to spend your next 50,000 most probably fixing problems on that car. And at some point, you are unable to fix this car. Now the car is standing on bricks, or you have to now sell it for parts, and what you get out is almost next to nothing. The other trend that I've seen with people who inherit money, all of a sudden, they now have friends. I don't know where these friends come from. You are now throwing parties left, right, and center. You are forever in KFC, you are forever at a restaurant, you are now traveling the country, you are going overseas, and then sooner or later, your inheritance money is gone. Finish and clear, gone. But this money was actually money for you to kickstart your life. This was like a jump start. This was like seed money. This was like capital for you to actually inject it somewhere where you can actually get returns. But because you are so considered to say, no sin. We've got that mentality. If you inherit money, you want to be seen that, yes, you are now the man, or you are now the woman. So you go out, you splash money on your new iPhone 11. You now have to have the latest Fabiani or Gucci or Prada or all of those things. So basically all of your inheritance goes into this nonsense. The worst part is the individuals who then start associating with fake friends. You guys are there, it's now the Moeds, it's the whatever type of alcohol. Then you get those friends who now introduce you to drugs, because alcohol just doesn't get you high enough. Now you've been introduced to drugs, now you're hooked on drugs. You now start spending most of your money on drugs. Sooner or later, you're now selling your stuff, you're selling your iPhone, you're selling your Gucci to buy drugs. Later on, you are a junkie, you are a Malala Pape, you are now the person in the street begging for money. Like, you always see people that, oh, that guy who's always on the street, the stories that you always hear, no, that guy inherited money, he finished the money, and now he's mad. The reason why you become mad is because you are now ashamed. Ashamed of the fact that you had money and now you no longer have money. This is what shame does. Shame, because you are now ashamed and you can no longer face the world. What do? You decide to say, it's fine. Let me just act like a malcop. Some of you are not mal. You are just acting mal. Let me just be there begging. This is the danger when you inherit money and you are ill-equipped to handle that money. Now, money only does two things. Money can either empower you or it can destroy you. Now, if you do not know how to handle money, money will destroy you. Money has destroyed a lot of people who had zero knowledge on how to handle it. And it has also empowered a lot of people who knew how to handle it. So if you do get your inheritance money, first relax, work out a plan. Because remember, you no longer have your parents. That's why you're inheriting that money. So you don't have a support system anymore. So you need to make sure that you surround yourself with people who have your best interest at heart. Because remember, most of the people who start becoming your friends, these are people who are only there because of your money. As soon as your money is gone, they're also gone. Guys, People don't really have friends. We only have, I'm with you because I'm interested in something from you. Now, if you inherited a whole lot of money, trust me, I'm going to be your number one friend. I'm going to be advising you, Melanie, let's go to Cape Town. Let's go to Durban, July. Let's go to watch a game of Barcelona playing against who. Let's go do this. Let's go do this. That's what happens. Now, because you are just too happy to have this money, you have no plan with it, your money will soon be gone, just like the wind. So, guys, if you do inherit money, my advice to you is have a plan with what you're going to do with that money. Have a concrete plan. And then, let's assume you've got 100,000. Put the 80 away. Doesn't matter where you put it. Just put it away. And then just have the 20,000. The 20,000, you can use it for expenses, blah, 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 and all of those things. And then figure out what to do with the 80,000. Because sooner or later, I don't know what happens, but you guys, you finish the money, you end up selling your parents' house, you end up selling all of their cars, you end up selling literally everything. And then virtually there's nothing for you. This can't be life, guys. But on the other hand, I've seen people who have gotten inheritance and they've used those inheritance wisely. Now, there is no shame in asking for advice if you don't know what to do with the money. There is absolutely zero shame. Sometimes you should just be willing enough to ask others to say, Chief, I've got this amount of money. What can I do with it? And let me just tell you right now, there is a lot of things that you can do with your inheritance money. Plenty of things. You can start a business. You can start buying shares in other companies. You can invest it in, I don't know what you're going to invest it in, but there's plenty of ways that you can multiply your inheritance money. But don't look at inheritance money and think that this is it. Because if you start chopping the inheritance money, soon there'll be nothing left. So this is today's talk on money talk. So I'll be coming up with a series of talks that we guys can have, and just so that we can start enlightening ourselves, so that we can start empowering ourselves. Because remember, guys, money is power. And those who have the money are the powerful ones. And unfortunately, the societies that we live in, it's about having and not having. So it's up to you where you want to be in the society. Do you want to be a have-not, or do you want to have? Now, here's the thing. I always say, rather have money and not need it than need money and not have it. It's as simple as that, guys. Have the money and have no need to use it than not having the money at all. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been amazing talking to you guys. And I'll definitely make time so we can have more discussions about money. Cheers. Bye-bye.